Every day, it is the 27th of August. Can't believe how warm it suddenly got. This time last week and the week before it was wet, quite cold, miserable, and today it's sort of 28, 29, maybe even 30, which is not too bad for cycling. But on Sunday, which was also bank holiday weekend in England, it was absolutely roasting. Stupid me decided I'm going to go a nice long cycle, and I think the highest I hit was 31, 32. It may not sound that much, but when he did the cycle with me and a mate, it literally wasn't a cloud in the sky. And as well, we left it just after midday, which is the worst possible time to go out. And let's just say, my body was not best pleased with me. On the way there, sort of to about halfway point, I was fine. I thought I'd been drinking lots, but by that point I'd already gone through like 2 bottles of lemonade. And then I bought a bottle of Pepsi. I was well into that, and I bought a bottle of water as well. And no matter what I jumped, my body was just like, what the hell are you doing? But even my heart rate, like at the moment, it's still relatively high, but I think it's just because it's still warm and it sort of goes a bit funny when you're sweating behind it. But my heart rate was sitting about 140, 150 for most of the cycle, which normally, if I'm going up a hill, it might peak up to that and then drop sort of down pretty quick. But having it that high for that long was not good. Even today, it's hit 144. But as I said, for some reason, if you put sunscreen on and you got this watch on, it seemed to sound a bit July. But when I got home, even from the cycle, I sort of took it off and I did that, and I put it back on again, my heart rate started going down quite a bit. But I say, the cycle on the way back was not nice. At one point, I was actually thinking, am I actually going to get it back? I was at that stage, just like, this is not nice. But then I did the end-to-end cycle, and that's like 10 years ago. I hit the wall a couple of days when you literally just can't queue on. But put it this way, when I hit the wall doing that, I just felt like I couldn't go on. But the other day, with the way my heart was actually thinking, am I going to get home? I'm going to get home alive. It was that bad. And then even when I got home, I got on a cold shower, and I turned the shower down as cold as I possibly could, and I was still finding the shower too hot. Admittedly, the way our shower works at home, it's like it mixes hot and cold. Because even turn it right, then as far as you possibly can, it still puts a bit of hot in it. Looking at it, I probably should have turned the boiler off and then just literally had a freezing cold shower. And then it would cool me down. But luckily, I didn't burn myself, because I did make sure I put tons of sun lotion on, which did help. But I'm going to remember to myself, Lane, next time it goes above 30 degrees and it's just sun and no clouds, don't go a long cycle, Gordon. Not a good idea. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the cycle, it was great fun. It was like the 3rd or 4th longest cycle I've done this year. But this year I don't think I've done many cycles over 50, and it was literally just over 50. At one point it was going to be like 49.8, and I thought I'd have to hit 50 miles, that would have burned me up even more if I just missed it. And even it's not that hot today, now I've stopped and I'm still starting to sweat. What else have I been up to? Oh yeah, I've been in Scotland. I went up there for a friend's wedding, and the wedding was really good. Not going to say too much about it, but it was a really nice, friendly wedding. Wasn't religious, because I'm not religious in the slightest, so that was really nice. And then I caught up with one of our friends who I've known since I was, well, yay high, really small, back since primary school, so I was about 5 or 6 maybe when I first met him. And he's just turned 40, and I'm turning 40 next month. So I've known him for that long, so we did lots of fun stuff. I'm obsessed with trains and railways, as you probably know, so I like to sort of pick off random stations. I know. But the first time I was quite impressed, he likes trains, but not so much to me, but he's not figuring out sort of planning the routes out and then working out what's trained to him. But this time, for the first time ever, he actually came up with the idea where to go, and he even planned the route. And it was that good a route. It's basically, if it went to the train line website, it didn't actually mention it, so I had to take a Scot route. It was an allowed way to go. So we basically went from Stirling up to Perth, and you're thinking, where's Stirling, where's Perth? Just Google them. And then he went to a place called Kirkcaldy, which I'd never been to before. It's not too bad. I'd rather go on a nice warm day when it was raining, but it's got a nice beach. It's quite near to Edinburgh, but I just wanted to go there because it means I got to take Perth railway station off, which I'd been through a number of times that never actually got off and changed the train at, so that was really nice. Kirkcaldy itself, as I say, I'd need to go back on a nice summer's day, but it seemed nice enough. We found the Wetherspoons. Did we find the Wetherspoons? Yeah, we found the Wetherspoons there, which is handy, because I quite like Wetherspoons, cheap and cheerful and all that. And then we got the train back, and we sort of went, let's say, Stirling's there, Perth's up there, and then Kinross is there. And then we sort of went back, and then we came back via Edinburgh. That was good as well, because we went over the Forth Rail Bridge, which is my 3rd or 4th time going over, and it's only Neil's 2nd time going over, so it's, again, it was nice. The last time we did it was me, so it was nice that I've been over twice of each hour. And then we went back to Stirling. And that was great fun, because again, it was nice doing a big loop, so you weren't like thinking you were repeating yourself, as it was literally a big sort of loop we did. And the next day we just did local stuff, because he was just knackered, bless him. So I thought if we did local stuff, it meant I got to take off another few stations, which again was really nice. We did Balloch, which is only 90 miles away. If you know anything about Scotland, Balloch is on Lochs of the Lomond, so we went from there down to another station. Can't remember the name of it, can't pronounce it, but if you look at my website, it's got lots of railway stations, and we went from there to Helensburgh. And the way the line works, say Balloch's here, I know this doesn't help, Balloch's there, and the station we went to is there, and all the trains that go from Balloch only go that way to go to Glasgow. There isn't a line that sort of goes that way, so to get to where we were going, we had to sort of go from there to there, so to get to the station there to meet a train that went that way to Helensburgh. And Helensburgh again, I used to go as a kid, and as a kid I hated it, because as a kid, getting dragged around sops and seaside just wasn't enjoyable. But now I'm older, I can actually, you look at things in a different light. You use how nice it is. You can look at the architecture, and that's just quite a nice place. And even the railway station there, I just wasn't expecting it. It was a really nice railway station, which again, so that was my three railway stations I took from that day. And then what did I do other than that? Oh yeah, the next day, Neil by this point was knackered. He had to get sort of ready to go back to work and stuff the following day. So I went, my parents gave me a lift to Mogai, which I've been to many times now. And then I got a train from there all the way to Glasgow Central, which again I've been to quite a number of times. But actually, I think I've now been to like Mogai station more than Glasgow Central, which is actually the busiest station in Scotland. And I went from there to a place called Wemyss, and I've heard about Wemyss station. A lot of people say it's the best station in the UK, other people say it's the best station in Scotland, and some people go as far to say it's the best station in the world. I can't comment about the world because I've not been to any railway stations outside of the UK, but I would definitely say it's probably one of the best in the UK. I can't really describe, it's just got a nice roof on it. It's a combined railway station. You've got the railway station and it goes down to Ferryport, so the train's going one way, and you get off the train and you walk through a nice concourse straight onto ferry, so you don't have to get wet, and I can't describe, it's just such a nice station. So you just need to like Google Wemyss railway station and look at it. And if you're ever in Scotland, I'd recommend you go to it. It's just such a nice station. And next time I go, I'm going to buy a combined ticket, and say from there you can get a ferry over to the Isle of Bute, which I've also got family that lives over there. And the real ticket was from Mogai to Wemyss, return was £8 or £9. And if you buy the combined ferry for a passenger, it's £15 return, which I think is a bargain. So next time I'm up, I'm going to try and be organised and get the ferry over to Bute. I didn't do it this time because, one, if I'd gone over, I would have had to see my family, and two, was, well, three reasons actually. The next day was going back to England, so I didn't want to be stuck out all day. And then the other reason I didn't want to do it because it was absolutely peeing it down. So I literally got to Wemyss, took tons of photos, and then went straight back again. So I basically got one train into Wemyss, stayed there for an hour, went back again. And on the way back again, I had to, the way the train went from Mogai, to get to Mogai, you had to sort of go, get off, and then change to another line. So again, that was another station I ticked off. So that day was another 2 stations. Pardon me, losing voice. So in Scotland, when I was up there, ticked off another 6 railway stations, which is really good. So my goal at one point this year was to hit 150 railway stations, and at the moment I'm at 184, I think it is. So now I want to hit 200 before the end of the year, which sounds a lot, but in the whole of the UK there's 2,560, I think, off the top of my head. So therefore at the moment I've done about 8% of all the railway stations in the UK. But considering not long ago, at the start of the year, it was only about 3%. Well, it's just my friend Nick telling me what the weather's like, because he's like it as well. So that's where it's on up to. Oh yeah, the next day I went down to London, had a London tour around the transport depot, which is really good as well. So I'm losing my throat. I know I speak too fast, that's the way I speak. But people are like, what language is that? Well, it's actually English, British English, Queen's English. Not American, because they say words wrong and spell them wrong, so as far as I'm concerned, well, I'm British, so I speak proper language. It's like anywhere in the UK, you get different slang. There's up in Scotland you say some words that you don't say down here. Down here you say things if you're in Scotland thinking, what the hell that person's saying? But in Scotland, they like to say, it's magic. Well, that's magic, and that's basically saying thank you. And also, especially in Glasgow, down here you say, next please, whereas in Glasgow it's always first please. So if you're in a queue, you say it differently down here. And also if you live in Nottingham you say cheers my duck. And when I first moved in, somebody said cheers with duck. I was like, what? Why have we called you duck? And then somebody said it's how what they say in Nottingham. And I remember I went to Liverpool and I said it once, and I got the dirtiest look ever used when I said cheers with duck to the bus driver. Like, what the hell did you say to me? I was like, yeah, sorry. Anyway, I'm just rabbiting now. I need to get back, drink more liquid, and get this video more online. Or just looking at myself on the Lycra. I've had this Lycra now for 4 or 5 years. They just don't make Lycra as good at it anymore. It's like black, boring, depressing. I liked it when they made green, yellow, blue, white, obviously, all these other funky colours. Anyway, I'm just rabbiting now, so I'm going to get going. Do subscribe, comment, hit the little bell icon so you get a notification when I do another video blog. Anyway, I'm just going to run off now, even though my bike's that way, but you just like look at my arse, let's be honest. So I'll speak to you all when I do another video blog.